Hello, everybody. So, welcome to Indigitus Coffee Talks, where you get to hear exciting stories and ideas from our leaders from different parts of the world. So, let us know where you're listening in. So, you can do post any shout out you'd like to share to the community, or you can go for it and we can flash it in our screen so that everybody can see it too. Wow. So I can see one viewer. Okay, so let me start our time by reading my name here on screen. I'm Jonah, one of your hosts. I'm a community lead here in the Philippines, working alongside awesome individuals in conducting digital outreaches, trainings, and community building in the online space, of course. So, hosting with me is one of the co founders of Indigitus, based in Singapore, a good friend and mentor, Simon.
Hey. I said not to put the clapping sound.
There goes my
oh,
clapping sound.
oh well. Hey, hello everybody. In each episode, you hear examples of how God is at work in the communities to shape innovative and bold ideas that helps bring the gospel to where it needs to go. And we want these conversations to inspire you and that you can continue to catalyze the spread of the gospel wherever God has placed you. And so we're so glad that you chose to join us today. And would you tell us which city you're coming in from? Type it in the chat or in your Facebook or YouTube, and we'll highlight it.
Yes, so yeah, there we go. Hi, Selena. Hi
Hey
there.
there.
So today we've invited Ace Pendon, an indigenous community leader in Manila, Philippines. So this is our virtual coffee time together. So during this time, during his free time, I mean, Simon, what he does is he plays The Legend of Zelda in Switch.
Oh,
So shout out to those who are also playing Switch. Key in our comment section what do you play during your free time.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be hearing more about how he is able to open up networks in Indigitus because of that hobby. Interesting.
That's wonderful. Well, Ace is a senior digital strategist at Cruise Philippines, a ministry that is dedicated to building spiritual movements in various sectors of the society. Oh, the first time I met Ace was actually at the very first Indigenous meetup at a cafe in Manila, right, Ace?
Oh,
Yeah, then we got to know each other more on the subsequent visits, playing badminton, and we had a lot of fun. So, welcome, Ace. How are you?
Hi, good
welcome.
day to everyone. Hello
Hey,
from
remember the
from our
badminton?
friends around the world.
Well, let's kick off this conversation by telling us a little bit about yourself and how did you get to know Indigenous?
So, I recently had my birthday 2 weeks ago,
Oh,
Ah,
happy
happy
and
birthday!
thank
birthday!
you, thank you.
Woo!
So, it's been a fun
Belated.
birthday in quarantine here in Manila.
Oh,
So I'm a missionary of crew, and I love using technology to connect people to the gospel and also help make disciples.
well, tell us how did you get to know Indigenous, and what has kept you being involved in this community?
So met Indigitus on 2014, 2015. Actually, that was the first time when I joined the meetup in a
Mm.
coffee shop. That was
Oh,
my
really? Okay, I thought
real
you heard
first
about it before.
involvement.
Okay.
No, I kept on declining the invitation.
Mm.
But then seeing like-minded people who want to use their skills, their talents, their passion in technology and connecting it with kingdom building, it really kept me going and wanting to discover more and connect more people to this kind of network.
Mm. Mm. That's great. Well, for the rest of our viewers, as they are listening in or watching, can you describe a little bit of what does the indigenous community in Manila or Philippines look like?
The indigenous community in Manila is actually very diverse. It's composed of different interest groups. So some are into social media. There's been a women's group recently, which they are growing in number. Some are also into not just content creation, but creating short films
Mm,
and using media for ministry. Others are groups of churches who are still learning digital strategies and digital ministry for their
wow,
church.
wow. And tell us a little bit more about what was the women's group that you said. What made it unique and how did it get started? If you know something about it.
Well, I heard from Jonah. Well, Jonah is part of the women's group, but we know that there are fewer women in technology compared to men, but we are seeing that these our women have a lot to offer in terms of experience, perspective, even skills. So they did a meetup. I'm just hearing from these ladies,
2 weeks
and
ago. Yeah.
yeah, 2 weeks ago. So they're excited to grow the community as well.
Love it, love it. Jonah, maybe you should speak a little bit more. What's unique about this, and yeah, what keeps it going?
Yeah, it's exciting also how one of our members is here watching with us. Hello, Res, watching from Davao City. So it just really sprang up from one member also of the community who just shared her heart out to say something like, you know what, I'm in this space in the digital influence. Like she's a writer, so she's been seeing opportunities in terms of sharing her experiences and encouraging others, and there has been this desire in her heart to be able to connect to other women too. And from that she just asked, hey, how can we work from how might we be able to kind of like harness this desire to use
Mm-hmm.
technology to be able to connect with other women too, because like there's this unique space where women can encourage each other and to be able to help each other bloom in a way where God has planted them, in terms of could it be blogging, could it be vlogging, could it be graphic design and stuff like that. So we're just
Wow.
starting up, but we're excited to be able to see other women also joining us, and hearing them say something like, there's this desire in my heart that I've been praying about for so long, and I feel like this could be a space for me to start it up. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting heart, so I feel like I'm saying the right thing.
Ah, good job, good job. Yeah, I really love this organic nature of indigenous where people are sensing a need and they feel a need, and so
Mhm.
they step up to say, hey, what are things that they see could help grow the community or actually be part of solving problems or and actually bringing the message of Christ to where it needs to be. So that's at the heart of what Indigenous is about. So it's cool to get that snapshot of that, even in these various adventures, you might
Yeah.
say. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, shout out to Jenny if you're watching or listening to us. Yeah, continue with what the Lord has placed in your heart, and let's see where that goes.
good job. Good job. Yeah.
Yeah,
The women of Indigenous in the Philippines, keep it up. Yeah. Well, back to
yeah,
Ace, we want to
yes, yeah,
pose you this question. Well, he's feeling left out, so we better turn the attention back to him.
yeah, yeah. Better
It's
try to put the
okay.
spotlight on him.
Well, how have you seen the indigenous community serve the church or the body of Christ in Manila or the Philippines? Tell us about that.
One unique thing that we are doing is we are doing digital outreach to help serve the different churches and Christian orgs. So digital outreach is actually an event, a training event and an activity where we train you how to share your faith online or share the gospel online. So we
Mm,
use digital tools or different media, and then
mm,
and social media. So we chat with your friends You chat with your friends, you start conversations, and then you use videos or articles or memes and use that as bridge to spiritual conversation that will eventually lead to a gospel presentation.
Okay. And how long have you guys been doing this?
We've been doing this since 2014, so that was our first project for digital strategies, and we tied it up with Indigitus to help serve the body of Christ.
So
And
you're
also,
seeing. Sorry, go ahead, Jonah. Yeah.
yeah, I just remembered a memory where my very first digital outreach, I think, was facilitated by Ace and his team. It was around to 2014, yeah.
Wow.
And and they're doing it like all around the country right now.
Mm,
And it's has really been an influence for me personally to be able to do
okay.
that in the space where I just have my phone. I can have this inspiring meme or inspiring message and tag a friend and talk about it. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So Ace, are you saying that churches are coming to you to say, hey, the pandemic has, challenged us. We can't do outreach in the same way we normally do it. Can you show us what it looks like in a digital space? Is that what's happening?
What we did before the pandemic actually is we really partnered and really contacted different churches, Christian orgs. So when the pandemic came, they became our advocates and allies and
Okay.
champions
Mm,
already.
mm,
So much of the work we delegated it to other Christian groups as well, or Christian orgs who have been doing digital outreach before the pandemic. And then yes, churches are also seeing that need. So that's why there are many of us who are equipped and able to serve other churches, other Christian orgs in terms of digital outreach.
Mm,
And digital outreach, the form of digital outreach has already evolved. Some churches have
mm,
contextualized it to the materials, or they produce their own videos. Some Christian groups also produce their own videos for them to use in their own version of digital outreach as well.
mm. Yeah, we love what you guys are doing in the Philippines. It's inspired a lot of us. More recently, I had the blessing of also being involved in training and equipping a church in the Himalayas. We shall not say the country, and they had youths gathered together, and some 22 of them, and they were all wanting to learn, all different churches, but they were wanting to learn how they can use their social networks
mm,
and their influence in social media to make a stand for Christ. And so through the simple training, a lot of it we adapted also from Indigenous, in Philippines, and we just kind of guide them through the process. How do you engage in spiritual conversations? I was so excited to hear, just the 22 of them, just within an hour and a half, we had 137 people that were contacted, shared a little gospel video,
Awesome.
and 40 people were immediately connected somehow through a chat or through Telegram or WhatsApp, and then the conversations continued, and there were spiritual topics that were discussed. So it's just so cool that something like that can
yeah.
happen. So to our listeners, I know many of you are experimenting or thinking about what this could look like. We have some resources for you. If you go to that link, ndgt.us // trainers hub.
Mm,
Jonah, you see Jonah hosting quite robust training for trainers. Even if you don't listen to all the videos, you can download some of the resources and figure
mm.
out what this could look like. Jonah, you want to add anything there?
Yeah, and from that resource as well, you'd be able to hear our friends, Pastor JP and Dr. Bethel Bumanglag, sharing about the background of why we also do digital outreach and what it means in our theology. So it's not just, for the hand, but it also for the mind and the heart to be able to understand why we do what we do and how we can, have this response in this
Yeah.
new normal in terms of making disciples.
That's awesome. And we have friends listening from all around the world. If you have a little story you want to share, I know we have some friends visiting from Nigeria And from
Yeah.
Ethiopia, many of these countries, you have done digital outreach as well. And so we want to affirm you and continue to encourage you to press
Mhm.
on and inspire many others around the world to do it. Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are our inspiration as well.
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome. Go
yeah,
ahead,
I would
John.
also like to ask you is kuya is what we call, you know, an elder brother here in the Philippines. So people might be wondering what does that mean. So yeah, can you share with us a little bit more about the initial, you know, allusion that I made with regards to your Switch hobby? So, yeah, Simon, if it's okay, I wanna shift us to that conversation
Go for it. Go for it.
about his story in terms of how he was able to, you know, find more people joining him to be digital disciple makers through games. Yeah, would you like to share more about that?
Yes, so the Lord has been leading me to new networks of people who have the desire to use games, like video games, as a platform for ministry. We know that many are streamers now of games, and while we were asking who's reaching these streamers, and some of these are just high school students or college students, and they're really good at their craft. They have a lot of followers. So recently I've interacted with some with a youth pastor. What he did is he gamified their discipleship platform using a social media channel in Discord. So they're still figuring things out, and yeah, I'm also learning with them. But at the same time, it's really having this community of people with like-minded interests and looking out for uh, people with a similar interest who doesn't have a relationship with Jesus yet. So it's really being a representative of your tribe and bringing the light and life of Christ into that group of people. So that's what I see as part of digital missions.
Wow. Yeah, that's inspiring. It's kind of like I'm just playing games here, and then, you know, you get connected with someone who has the same interests as you do, and then you double bonus if you find that they also have that desire to be able to share the gospel, right where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, how is it going so far? Like, how did they go with the discipleship, or I mean the gamification of their discipleship process?
Well, they're from our last conversation, they're slowly growing, and they're really understanding how the young people think. So
Hmm.
that's really part of doing ministry, is understanding your audience, the people whom you are wanting to reach and to serve.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's inspiring. And also, inspiring comment here from our friend Cristobal. We have been broadcasting fitness classes to share our faith through athletes in action in Guatemala.
Wow.
Wow, that's cool, Cristobal. Yeah, you can post more links here so that our friends also would be able to get to know
Love
more
it.
about this program.
It's
Yeah, I
so
like that
creative.
fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe let's join
creative.
their classes.
I think I could use some. Yeah.
Please, yeah, please drop your link. Please drop your link here so we can join your
The
fitness
three of
classes.
us need it. Need fitness classes.
Speaking of creativity, our God is a very creative God. So, what is one thing you see God work as you lead the community? What spaces have you seen God's creativity? How He's working? You know.
I'm seeing how God created each person unique with different interests, and when Christians understand the uniqueness that God gave them, and use that as a platform to reach others, then it's a really very beautiful thing. Seeing podcasters uh, use their voice to talk about not just biblical truths, but also the need of the times. Talking
Mm-hmm.
about mental health, talking
Mm-hmm.
about excellence even in work from home, and some artists like creatively drawing and really reaching out to your soul and inviting them
Wow.
to a journey with Christ. So
Mm,
these people, meeting these people and affirming them of their craft is something that the Lord has also placed in my heart, and I find joy in doing, in networking
mm,
and encouraging them to continue on with what they're doing.
mm. I love the phrase you said, you're inviting them to a journey with Christ or journey to Christ. And I
Yeah.
think that encapsulates that picture that there is a journey, right? And
Yes.
it doesn't matter where it is, but there is a journey, whether far away, they may be unaware, they might be curious, but they could also become a follower and then eventually a guide. So we get to, kind of come alongside. And I love it how you phrase it, Ace. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. And also, speaking of projects, what's exciting? What's one exciting project you're working on right now, or like taking part in these past days?
Aside from thinking of how to reach the gamers more or in a more effective way, or organize this different connect with the different ministries is doing gaming, seeing the digital outreach grow in terms of uh, reaching to the unreached people groups. So
Mm,
when I mentioned about digital outreach, the initial thought was to start reaching your friends, but this one is more challenging. It involves reaching to a different culture, a different context,
mm,
and really helping fulfill the Great Commission by reaching every tribe, tongue, nation, and language. So we're uh, starting and doing, improving the what we have started in reaching one uh, people group here in the Philippines. So it's really very different from how we're used to doing ministry.
Mm.
mm. That's interesting. Yeah. So in line with that, what are some, what are top three lessons? I think it would be difficult to just summarize it in one. So let me ask you your top three lessons as you face these, exciting things and networking with people. What are those top three lessons you'd like to share to the indigenous leaders, listening in?
Hmm. I'm prepared with one, but having three is more challenging.
You can have one in three parts.
One and three parts.
She pulled a fast one.
Yeah.
I did
So,
too.
okay, so the first one is um, you continue to focus your eyes on Jesus.
Hmm. I like
Whether
that.
it's something of your passion, or God is asking you to do something which is really far, you think it's far fetched, and
Mm,
you keep on asking, why me? God knows what He's doing,
Mm,
and aside from that, the thing that God wants you to do, it's more of really growing that relationship with God. It's more about getting to know Him and not just accomplishing the task.
mm-hmm.
mm,
So that's one.
Yeah.
Number two, God created you uniquely with different skills and talents. So if people are doing online streaming or in terms of games, but you want to, but you're not really good at it, then maybe find something that you're good at and use that as a platform for
mm,
reaching out to others and inviting people to for a journey to Christ or journey with Christ. So yeah, use your calligraphy skills and
mm.
in
I like
writing
that.
beautiful Bible verses, something
Hmm.
like that. And
Yeah.
number three, invite people in your journey. So we are created to live in community. So if you think that you're doing it alone, then probably you're not. Maybe you need to just ask people around you to join you, and maybe they're just waiting to be invited. So yeah, those I think those three lessons are have been very helpful for me as I do ministry.
Mm. Yeah, so
Mm,
let's recap that a bit. Number one would be, yeah, know God's heart, stay connected with Him, right? Fix your eyes
Yep.
on Jesus, in your
Yep.
relationship with Jesus. And then number two, God has uniquely written your story. Know it and own it. I like that. How it's placed like that. Like if you have
Yes.
calligraphy skills, use it. Yeah, like how God told Moses, right? What's that in your hand? That
Mm-hmm.
staff.
A
And
coffee mug.
Moses, yeah, yeah, that's a good question. What's that in your hand? A coffee mug. So how are you gonna use your coffee mug to
Exactly.
be able to share your greatest joy of your life? And then third, be part of community. Take initiative. Don't wait. Invite others into a journey. That's what
Yeah.
Grace has
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Well, anything else you want to say to our indigenous community leaders at all? Whatever words of wisdom from Ace the Ninja.
Any shout outs?
Yes, yes. They call me
Where
the
can they
digital
find you?
outreach ninja.
Where can they find the digital outreach ninja?
Just drop by my Facebook and Instagram account.
Wow. Yeah, what's your handle?
Yes. Pendon.ace. Yeah, that's my
All
email. Yeah.
right.
So both my Instagram and Facebook are pendon.ace. Words of wisdom. I think, yeah, just keep your focus on God. I think there's so much wisdom in that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing more than that, right?
Love it. Yeah. Well, it's always a joy, when I, interact with indigenous leaders in the Philippines. We are just delighted that you had taken time to share with us. There's many more opportunities. I know you guys can reach out. We've always encouraged our community leaders or innovative leaders within Indigenous to just reach out and connect and share ideas with each other. So we want to encourage you to continue the conversation. Follow us on our WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, sorry, Facebook, and
Soon.
as well
Facebook,
as
Twitter.
Insta, right? So and keep connecting with the communities localized to you. God might be doing something right there already. So just keep fostering and keep growing that. All right. So if you are not already connected and you want to join us on Slack, you can go to Jonah. Are you going to put the link there somewhere to
Mm-hmm.
let people know that especially if you have digital talents, right, and you want to make sure that you know how to use that. One of the things that we really want to bring to your attention for this upcoming season is the Indigenous hashtag event happening in October. 2 weekends in October. Come and be part of that. Last year we had 140 locations of participants, more than 1,000 people that came and joined us. So you see the website there, hack.indigenous.org, a brand new site that was
Mm-hmm.
just done for you to figure out whether you
Yeah.
want to lead in a city or to participate. All right. And very soon we're going to talk about global challenges. And these are going to be excellent opportunities for you to figure out where does has God uniquely placed you in His kingdom, right? So thank you once again for all of you who join us. Your presence is an affirmation of the Lord raising up people to join Him in what He's doing in the world today.
Yeah, as for me, we're glad to be able to share with you how God is the one raising up his people, especially in the era of gaming and this digital normal. So, Kuya Ace, thank you so much for your time. So, after all, here in Indigitus, we're really about activating the body of Christ towards digital missions, using our presence online to reach out to others to make disciples. So for more content and conversations like these, you can follow us on YouTube and Instagram by looking for at Instagram. so so you can look for us there. And but for our
At
coffee talks,
Indigenous, right?
yeah, it's at Indigitus. Yeah, I like that. So but for our coffee talks, see you in the next episode. So have a good day or night
Have a
ahead,
good
you.
day or night. Stay healthy. God bless.
Bye, Kuya Ace. See ya.
Bye. Bye, Ace. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I cannot call you Kuya Ace because that would be.
You're older, Simon.
Oh.